The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Audiobook Summary. Introduction. The importance of understanding human nature. Robert Greene emphasizes the timeless nature of human behavior, stating that understanding the forces that drive human actions is crucial for success in life. He explains that his book is a guide to mastering human nature, not only in others but also in oneself. By mastering these laws, readers can gain power, navigate relationships, and improve self-awareness. Chapter 1: The Law of Irrationality. Realize your emotional self. Greene begins by discussing how emotions often cloud rational thinking, leading to impulsive and irrational decisions. He explains that we are all subject to unconscious emotional forces that influence our actions, and most people are unaware of this. To become more rational, Greene suggests practicing self-awareness, controlling emotional reactions, and cultivating an objective mindset. Key takeaway: emotions often drive irrational behavior. To master human nature, you must first recognize and control your own emotional impulses. Chapter 2: The Law of Narcissism. Transforms self-love into empathy. This chapter explores the idea that we are all narcissistic to some degree, and this trait affects how we interact with others. Greene explains that excessive self-love can lead to selfishness and a lack of empathy. However, Greene suggests that if we focus on understanding others' needs and emotions, we can transform narcissism into empathy, making us more effective in social interactions. Key takeaway: while narcissism is natural, cultivating empathy is essential for building stronger, more meaningful relationships. Chapter 3: The Law of Role-Playing. See people's masks. Greene argues that most people wear social masks to hide their true intentions and desires. Understanding the dynamics of role-playing can help you see through these masks and better understand people's motivations. He advises readers to observe behavior closely, paying attention to inconsistencies between words and actions. By recognizing the roles people play, you can avoid manipulation and build deeper connections. Key takeaway: people often hide their true selves. Learn to see through the mask they wear by observing their behavior carefully. Chapter 4: The Law of Compulsive Behavior. Determine the strength of people's character. This chapter focuses on the patterns of behavior that reveal a person's true character. Greene explains that people tend to repeat the same behavioral patterns throughout their lives, often without realizing it. By identifying these compulsive patterns, you can better predict people's future actions and make more informed decisions in relationships, business, and life. Key takeaway: people's character is revealed through repetitive behavior patterns. Learn to spot these patterns to better understand and predict their actions. Chapter 5: The Law of Covetousness. Become an object of desire. Greene explains that human nature is driven by desire, often for things we cannot have. This chapter explores the psychology of covetousness, our desire for what others possess, and how this trait can be harnessed to create allure and attraction. By becoming an object of desire, either through scarcity, mystery, or unattainability, you can increase your influence and power over others. Key takeaway: desire drives much of human behavior. Cultivate an aura of mystery and scarcity to become an object of desire in your personal and professional life. Chapter 6: The Law of Shortsightedness. Elevate your perspective. Greene argues that many people focus on short-term gains and immediate gratification, which limits their ability to achieve lasting success. He suggests adopting a long-term perspective, keeping your ultimate goals in mind, and avoiding impulsive decisions. By thinking strategically and focusing on the bigger picture, you can rise above the short-sightedness that traps many people. Key takeaway: develop a long-term perspective and avoid impulsive decisions. Thinking strategically will set you apart and lead to greater success. Chapter 7: The Law of Defensiveness. Soften people's resistance. This chapter explores how people naturally resist being controlled or influenced. Greene explains that to gain influence over others, you must avoid triggering their defensiveness. He advises using subtle, indirect approaches, framing your suggestions as their ideas, and creating a sense of partnership. By making people feel understood and respected, you can lower their defenses and guide them more effectively. Key takeaway: people resist control, so soften their defenses by being indirect, respectful, and collaborative in your approach. Chapter 8: The Law of Self-Sabotage. Change your circumstances by changing your attitude. Greene discusses how negative thought patterns and attitudes can lead to self-sabotage. He explains that many people are trapped by their own limiting beliefs and pessimism, which prevent them from achieving success. By cultivating a positive, proactive mindset and taking responsibility for your circumstances, you can overcome self-sabotage and create the conditions for success. Key takeaway: your attitude shapes your reality. Change your mindset to overcome self-sabotaging behaviors and take control of your destiny. Chapter 9: The Law of Repression. Confront your dark side. In this chapter, Greene explores the idea that everyone has a dark side, repressed emotions, desires, and impulses that can manifest in destructive ways if ignored. He suggests that instead of repressing these emotions, you should confront and integrate them into your conscious self. By acknowledging and channeling your darker impulses in constructive ways, you can achieve greater self-awareness and power. Key takeaway: everyone has a dark side. Embrace and integrate your repressed emotions and desires to harness their power for positive growth. Chapter 10: The Law of Envy. Beware the fragile ego. Greene explains how envy is a powerful but often hidden force in human behavior. He warns that people may act out of envy, attempting to sabotage others or undermine their success. To protect yourself from envious attacks, he advises being aware of others' insecurities and egos. Additionally, he suggests concealing your achievements when necessary to avoid becoming a target of envy. Key takeaway: envy is a dangerous force in human nature. Learn to recognize it in others and protect yourself from its destructive effects. Chapter 11: The Law of Grandiosity. Balance your ambition. In this chapter, Greene explores the dangers of grandiosity, or an inflated sense of self-importance. While ambition is necessary for success, unchecked grandiosity can lead to arrogance and failure. He advises readers to stay grounded by acknowledging their limitations, seeking feedback, and remaining aware of the dangers of hubris. Key takeaway: ambition is essential, but unchecked grandiosity can lead to failure. Stay grounded and maintain a realistic view of your strengths and weaknesses. Chapter 12: The Law of Gender Rigidity. Reconnect with the feminine within. Greene discusses the balance of masculine and feminine traits in every person, regardless of gender. He explains that rigid adherence to traditional gender roles can limit personal growth and relationships. By embracing both masculine and feminine qualities, such as assertiveness and empathy, you can achieve greater balance, flexibility, and success in navigating social dynamics. Key takeaway: embrace both masculine and feminine qualities to enhance flexibility and improve relationships in personal and professional life. Chapter 13: The Law of Aimlessness. Advance with a sense of purpose. This chapter emphasizes the importance of having a clear sense of purpose in life. Greene argues that without a defined goal or mission, people tend to drift aimlessly and waste time on distractions. He advises setting clear, long-term goals and using them to guide daily actions. A sense of purpose not only provides direction but also gives meaning and motivation. Key takeaway: define a clear sense of purpose to guide your actions and stay focused on long-term goals. Chapter 14: The Law of Conformity. Resist the pull of the group. Greene explains how people are naturally inclined to conform to group behavior and social norms, often at the expense of individuality. He discusses the dangers of groupthink and how it can lead to poor decision-making. To maintain your individuality and avoid being swayed by the crowd, Greene suggests developing independent thinking and standing firm in your values. Key takeaway: resist the pull of conformity. Develop independent thinking to avoid groupthink and maintain your individuality. Chapter 15: The Law of Fickleness. Create loyalty through social intelligence. In this chapter, Greene explores the fickle nature of human loyalty. He explains that people's loyalties can change quickly, depending on circumstances and personal interests. To build lasting loyalty, he advises developing social intelligence, understanding what motivates people and how to appeal to their emotions. By showing empathy and building trust, you can cultivate stronger, more lasting relationships. Key takeaway: human loyalty is fickle. Develop social intelligence and build trust to create lasting connections and loyalty. Chapter 16: The Law of Aggression. See the hostility behind the friendly facade. Greene explains that aggression is a fundamental aspect of human nature, often hidden behind friendly or cooperative behavior. He warns that people may harbor hidden agendas or aggressive tendencies. To navigate social dynamics effectively, Greene advises developing a keen sense of observation, reading between the lines, and being aware of subtle signs of aggression in others. Key takeaway: people often conceal aggression behind a friendly facade. Learn to recognize subtle signs of hostility to protect yourself. Chapter 17, The Law of Gene-Rational Myopia. See the patterns in gene-rational shifts. This chapter discusses how different generations are shaped by the unique historical and cultural contexts in which they grow up. Greene explains that gene-rational differences often lead to misunderstandings and conflict. He suggests that understanding the values and perspectives of different generations can help you navigate these differences more effectively. By recognizing the recurring patterns in gene-rational shifts, you can avoid conflict and position yourself as a bridge between generations. Key takeaway: understanding gene-rational differences and the patterns behind them will help you navigate relationships and reduce misunderstandings across age groups. Chapter 18, The Law of Death Denial. Accept the sublimity of life. In this final chapter, Greene addresses humanity's deep-seated fear of death and how it influences behavior. He explains that by denying the reality of death, people often live in a state of denial, avoiding risks and failing to fully embrace life. Greene suggests that by accepting the inevitability of death, you can live with greater urgency, purpose, and passion. Key takeaway: by accepting the reality of death, you can live more fully, embracing risks and making the most of your time. Conclusion: mastering human nature. In the conclusion, Greene reiterates the importance of understanding and mastering human nature. He emphasizes that by applying the laws outlined in the book, you can gain a deeper awareness of yourself and others, leading to greater success in all areas of life. Ultimately, mastering human nature is about developing empathy, self-control, and strategic thinking, allowing you to navigate the complexities of human behavior with wisdom and insight. Final thoughts. Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature is a comprehensive exploration of the complex forces that shape human behavior. Each chapter reveals a different aspect of human nature, providing practical strategies for understanding yourself and others. By mastering these laws, readers can improve their social intelligence, deepen their relationships, and achieve greater personal and professional success. We recommend you read this book. Do not forget to subscribe to Zillionpro for more quick summary audiobooks.